Hi, and welcome to the show that never judges a book by its cover. And joining me on my panel is my opinionated bunch of bookworms here, Marianne Dishakoshik and Nikki van der Waal. I can never pronounce your name, Mary.
It's like the mountains.
So anyway, we've got two books we're reviewing, and I just have to apologise because I feel like I've been making you guys a little bit depressed recently because I've been giving you lots of stories about kidnappers, psychos and murderers. So just to make you even more depressed, I thought let's read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, because that's about murder and all sorts of nasty little things. So, and the second one, those a bit more cheerful, it's Caitlin Moran's book, How to Be a Woman. But to start off with, we're going to do The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. Disha, do you want to explain a little bit more?
So in a nutshell, it's about a journalist called Mikhail who has been wrongly accused of writing an article and he wants to prove his innocence. So he meets Henrik Vanger, who is the head of the Vanger Corporation, who says, I will help you if you solve the mystery of the disappearance of my 16-year-old niece who went missing years ago. And in that comes with the girl with the dragon tattoo, Lisbeth, who helps him solve the mystery.
And also, what did you guys think of it, firstly? Do you guys read crime a lot? Because I know we've been reading a lot of thrillers recently, but crime's a little bit different, isn't it? Because it's more of a puzzle that you have to solve pretty much, you know.
I like a good crime novel.
Yeah?
I like spy novels. Does that count?
Oh, I like spy novels too, yeah. I always call them airplane books, because like the kind of things you get at the airport and you can read them in a flight.
Yeah.
See, I do not like crime novels at all. I mean, this was okay, but I would not choose to read a book in that genre.
Really?
No.
This is the first time I've actually read a crime novel, and I wasn't sure about it, but you know, because it's one of those books that you've just seen so much of, and the movie and everything, and it's won awards. It's been sold. The trilogy's been sold in like 50 countries, like 60 million books. So it's pretty big.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, if I'm going to give a crime book a go, it'll be this one. And surprisingly, actually, I wasn't sure at the beginning because it's a slow start. They set up the characters. Michael Blomkvist, who's this guy who's in a libel trial. He falls for a false story, and he's basically has to go to prison for a little bit, but he has to keep his head down for a while. He's a journalist, and obviously we have Vangar, who's this industrialist millionaire who says, "Hey, if you're keeping your head down, why don't you come along with me and help me solve my." The murder of he thinks it's a murder. He's obsessed with it being a murder, but no one really knows because it's this kind of weird thing where his niece disappears very mysteriously on this island where there was no way that she could have disappeared because there was an accident cutting off the island from the mainland.
But it
You know what I
happened
mean?
years ago.
And it happened years ago, and it's a cold case, but he's so obsessed, and he's an old man who just wants closure at the end of his life. And also it's a bit suspect because she was actually going to inherit the company, which is obviously worth millions. So he suspects his family, the Vangar family, who all live on this island called Hedestad. And they're actually really nasty bunch of people, as you discover when Michael has to go and stay there and like do the investigation. And they're not happy about him being there either, are they? Did you like the plot and how it built up to that point?
I liked that bit of the plot. I liked it when he was at the island and he was researching what's happened to Harriet, but I did not actually like any of his corrupt case. That I didn't care about that. I just felt, and I thought they didn't focus on it enough for me to care about it.
I just thought like the entire first half of the book was all that you described, and like it's good. It's a crime novel, but the entire time I'm like, there's no girl with a dragon tattoo yet. I'm like, where is she coming in? And like, that's the famous part of the book. This girl.
What did you think, Nikki?
Well, yeah, it's the same thing. And then when she finally does come in, like everything that happens to her is so horrible. And I'm like, I don't want to read
She has a really,
this.
really sad life, doesn't she? She's a very intriguing character.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they actually called the book after
I
her, like the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Why call it after her? Because the book wasn't really about. I mean, she was as equal as the Mikhail in it, and
I know.
I
don't know actually.
wasn't about her.
The initial
kind of obsessed with her almost, like not in a bad way. But I mean, I think it becomes very much about her, even though the initial mystery isn't. And there's the love.
I didn't like the fact that Mikhail and Elizabeth kind of began a relationship. I felt uncomfortable with that bit.
That's my entire thing. Like problem with all three of the books actually is I read all three of them. I liked them. They were a good read, but I felt like the author very clearly based the main character on himself, and he had every main woman like fall for him. Ugh. And I was like, wish fulfillment, come on.
Yeah, he did. I think he did. Actually, that's a fact. He did. What did you think of Salander? Did you like her as the sort of the partner? You know, the kind of assistant to Michael trying to investigate the crime. What do you think of her?
I don't know, I just kind of want to give her a hug and a cup of tea. It's just books like that where just everything that's happening is so dark and twisted. I just get
She
really
has had a very
turned off
dark
to that.
life as well, hasn't she?
And it's the
Yeah.
book is like sporadically like all on the beginnings of like different things. There's all like these rape statistics, and I'm like, I don't really want to read this. This
Yeah, I'm
isn't-
sorry, guys. I
yeah.
don't need to give you
Well,
that depressing book.
I do like it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad
Clearly,
book.
I'm being too
It's all
sensitive
right.
here.
No, it's a fair criticism. I mean,
Yeah.
the book is very graphic, and when I have let people my copy and stuff, and I always say, it's a graphic book. The movie's graphic, but I think if you can get past that, and that is
Yeah.
asking something of people. I mean, I do think it's interesting. I think it's good. I have some problems with it, but
I think it was graphic in parts, but I mean, I've read worse books. I wouldn't watch the film, and with her, I don't
Sorry, graphic.
know how you can draw an opinion of someone that has no emotion. It's really difficult
but
to feel
she
sorry
does
for
have
her.
emotion.
She does have
doesn't
emotion, but
fit,
she's had
but
a
she's
very
not-
hard
yeah.
life. She's considered a kind of social delinquent. You know, she's been, I don't know, she has this guardian that basically messes her up in the book. I mean, he does some awful things to her. And actually, interestingly, the book in Swedish initially, when he first wrote it, was called Men Who Hate Women. So that gives you an idea of the theme in the book. But what did you think of the actual puzzling together of the mystery? You know, when they actually do start to uncover things. Did you like that bit?
I
The
like the clues,
and did you follow that quite
but
easily
I was
in the second
disappointed.
half?
I'm disappointed with the outcome.
Really?
I mean, it was good, but it was just like once it was resolved, that was it. And I don't know, it wasn't.
That's how resolutions tend to go.
Yeah, but I don't know, it wasn't as big as. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad what happened, but I just thought no.
What did you think in comparison to other like crime books? Do you think it had enough twists and turns in it?
I think it did. Like I said, I think it was a good crime novel, crime book. I liked the way it was resolved. I thought it was intriguing enough.
And
The problems I have aren't with that.
They swept things under the carpet though, and that's what I didn't like. There was no justice.
I actually
Which was
wish that in
fine,
the book
yeah.
they'd maybe stopped too much of. I wish there wasn't as much character development so early on, because I think a lot of people unfortunately would switch off quite early on. Like I know people who just got bored in the
Yeah.
first half of the book, and I want to say to them, look, just keep going, because actually the mystery bit's really, really gripping. And I, for somebody like me who's never read like a crime book before, I found it very easy to follow. Like you know,
Yeah.
the clues and everything. So I thought that was good. So guys, out of 10, what would you score this, Mary?
I'd probably give it a 6. Maybe.
Okay.
I would give it a 6.5.
I'll give it a 4.
I think I'm going to give it. I think I'm going to give it a 7, because I actually really thought it was surprisingly quite good. I thought he was a really good writer, and I think I'm going to read the other two. Actually, I'm intrigued.
I think I might do now.
I already did. They're
So there you have it. You've got our opinions. We're not the font. I loved it, but these guys didn't love it as much. But give it a go. You never know, you might like it.